Or let me ask you this, what do you feel is your strongest gift?
I say singing and playing the guitar. And that, you know, it's and the gift of music, and the gift of good time, and gift of tonality is a great gift too. You know, you hear a lot of people singing. You know, if they sing by themselves, they're in 4 or 5 different keys before you know it.
But you have Glen Campbell, who's such a great session musician, in demand. Frank Sinatra, and like I said, the Beach Boys. The list goes on. But at one point, that hunger to satiate your appetite, to leave doing, you make great money being a studio session musician, but here you had that calling to be in the spotlight.
Yeah, but I was shy of the spotlight, really. I don't know why. Probably the hardest thing I did was to go out on the road and be a Beach Boy. That's what really made me realize, no, I want to play and I want to sing what I want to play and I want to sing, and not having to play bass and sing a high third on Little Old Lady from Pasadena. I want to dance. Oh my God, I raised my voice a tone and a half.
Veins coming out of your neck and in your head, right?
But it was something that I really enjoyed. I enjoyed doing it, but it was scary. It was a lot of fun. It really was a lot of fun. But that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to sing, boy, the Jimmy Webb stuff, the, you know, Mason Williams. Boy, what a silly writer he is.
Who took you to a place where you think you've never been before, or you thought at the time, some one person who you think took you to a place that you never had been before up to that point in time in your career?
I think Brian Wilson's music did.
Because?
Just because it was so good. I mean, his chord progressions, his harmonies, the way he would put it together. At that time, before it was, you know, I played on the Righteous Brothers stuff. Lost That Love and Feeling, Soul and Inspiration, you know. Oh, my love, my darling, I'm hungered. I forget the name of that now. But all of that, say the Beach Boys, Jan and Dean, that formed kind of what I wanted to do. You know, I could hear that, and I said, they do it so well. Jan Berry wrote out everything on the sessions. And I loved singing Honolulu Lulu. I really did. It really made sense. But when I got I think the topper was Rhinestone Cowboy. I like to wreck my car when I heard that.
75.
1975. Now, this was after everything. You know, I had a lull there because I'd been arguing with Capitol about what I'm supposed to be releasing and going through marriage problems and all that jazz. But when I heard Rhinestone Cowboy, boy, I said, that's... When I heard Southern Nights, it was the same way.
77.
Alan Toussaint, the Pointer Sisters stuff.
Right.
Those good writers are just good writers, and they just their songs, they just don't aim them at nobody. You know, it's...
What makes up a great song for you?
A great chord progression, I mean, with a great melody, and some, you know, lyrics that really tell a great story.
You mentioned a little bit of dissension, altercation between yourself and Capitol Records, and a little bit of a down period. How did you deal with the bad times during your career?
I really didn't. You know, I was out playing on the road so much, and I just said, well, you know, to heck with them.
Bury yourself in it, in your music.
Just go out and do it. And that was wrong. You know, that can get you in a lot of trouble too, being on the road all the time.
And what do you think it was that made the most difference to you? When you look back and you think about certain points, crowning moments in your career, what do you think were the moments that stood out the most to you and you said, this is what made a difference in my career?
I think Wichita Lineman, naturally, first. Because it came out when the TV show had started. And there was another, the Try a Little Kindness. That was the most played song of 1969. But these all came out when the TV show hit. The most memorable thing and the scariest thing I ever stepped into was getting on a horse beside John Wayne.
True Grit.
That was really an experience of a lifetime.
Tell me about it.
Hal Wallace, he was talking to my guy that was managing me then, And he said, and Duke brought his little daughter over, Marissa, to meet Glen Campbell. And that just floored me, because she was a big fan of the Good Time Hour. And I think maybe Hal Wallace sent him over, because I wasn't hot to do any movies, because, you know, like I said, I've never acted before True Grit, and my record's still clean, you know. That was Glenn up there. And Duke said, hey, he said, I got a great script. Did you be? And I said, what? Wow, you know. He said, yeah. Anyway, I went to talk to Hal Wallace about it. And I said, what kind of horse I wanted, you know, blah, blah. Went out and tried out, because I could ride, you know. We didn't even, that was our transportation when I was a kid. If you wasn't riding the horse or mule, you were in the wagon, you know. And I went over and picked out a good one. Man, he could single foot, you know, he could pace. Great, and it's very smooth riding. And we get out on the set, and he's got this sagebrush horse that wasn't 3 hands high, man, for me to ride. And Duke's, we have the same inseam, John Wayne and I, but he stood 3 inches taller than me, because he's got a torso. That's why he looks so big in the
Right.
saddle.
He does look huge.
He is huge in the saddle. And I just thought, I just went right ahead with it and did it, and said, you know, if I get out of this, you know, I can go play one night and make more money than I'm making in this movie. And it ain't that much fun. And I just really disliked acting. It was very frustrating, because that was in 1970, 1969, 69, 70.
Right.
And I just wanted to go out on the road and play and sing, because that's what I really
That's what you
enjoy
did.
doing. Yes, and that's what I enjoy doing. I don't remember not sitting down and enjoy playing and singing.
Well, let's stay with that. So you have 1968. Here's Glen Campbell on the Joey Bishop Show doing a guest appearance. They see you, and here's this gentleman who is apparently, as you say, shy, a little introverted in his own way, and CBS comes to you and says, we want to showcase your talents every single week on a variety show and put you in the spotlight center stage. How did that work for you if you're so...
Tommy Smothers, he said host the summer show, because I don't know why. I guess I was hot, and he was looking around for somebody to host their show, because Tommy wanted to produce. And boy, he did. He and Mason, and they really did a great job on the summer show. And they said, anything you don't like in the script, I don't have to do. And I said, great. They wrote stuff that was so funny. And John Hartford, he was in, John was a good writer. And Tommy said, I won't do any controversial stuff, because I already told him about, you know, I said, I don't like to get into politics. I don't like to get into knocking anybody. You know, I don't like to get into, you know, if you're a Republican and I'm an atheist, or I said, I don't want to get into that stuff, because, you know, I don't like controversy.
And you don't want to polarize anybody.
No, I don't want to polarize anybody. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, literally, is the way I'd put it. And he said, fine. You don't have to say it. Just, and Tommy did that exactly. And Mason Williams, and all the writers, my gosh, Rob Reiner and Steve Martin, they wrote stuff that I wish I'd have kept what they wrote, because they'd make good shows now.
Yeah, they certainly would, let me tell you.
They were so far out in left field, they could play right field.
But here you were so nervous, as you had mentioned, and yet here you are, 50 million people watching each and every week.
I know it. I went to England to do a TV show and do some promotion. The first and second show of the Summer Brothers Smothers show had aired. And I stepped off of that plane in Chicago. Came back through Chicago to do something. And I was just, you know, hey, there's old Glen Campbell. You know, everybody knew who I was, seemed like, that I run into. And I said, where in the hell would they know me from? It didn't even dawn on me that, you know, I had 2 network shows that aired. And but number 1 at 8 o'clock Sunday night. And everybody knew who you were in 2 weeks. It was amazing.
Bingo.
Bingo.
50 million.
Just records, my word.
What do you think it is, Glenn, that you have that makes you who you are?
Well, I think it's having God in my life. That keeps me on the straight and narrow. I mean, that's what got me off of drugs. That's what straightened my head out.
About 85, 86, right, for you?
85? About 85, I guess. No smoking, no drugs, no nothing. Drinking. And that's what done it. You know, you know, God can help anybody out, you know, if you let him.
Turns you around.
It turned me around. It turned me around. Now I read stuff, you know. I always went with that old. I was like John Wayne's image in the movie, you know. What's good and honest and just and fair, you know. That seemed what made John Wayne as huge as he is, you know, because he always played those parts that gave him that edge, you know. It was always him in the end that solved all the problems and became the hero.
Legendary. If you were to walk away from this remarkable career now, right now, tonight here at the Mohegan Sun, your last show, what would you take with you? What would you take away with you?
Oh, everything, you know. It's let's face it, I didn't figure on this run when I started out. You know,
Such a talented, gifted musician.
Oh, thanks.